Hi guys, you're from Sharp 11 Music here, and I'm back with a lick of the week. This week's lick of the week is one by Paquito D'Rivera. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but it's an amazing player on Latin jazz tunes. I dig him so much. A kind of childhood hero. Been following him since I was, I don't know, 14, 15, so Caribe, the solo on Caribe from Michel Camilo, and was totally hooked ever since. And now I did a solo transcription, which was actually suggested to me by my great student Sai Schmidt, who listens to so much different kinds of jazz and solos, and he showed me this and I was blown away completely. The complete solo is amazing, how he's so laid back, plays some really cool bebop, but in this Latin snappy way with really rhythmically between the lines. But I picked one of my favorite licks. There are many, to be honest, but I picked one which I think might be really valuable for you guys to work with. Check out the complete transcription on this channel if you haven't, so you can see a lot of great lines. Let me play that lick for you once more, the lick that we will break down, and with a few bars before to get some context. Some of you might wonder already in those context bars, he has a great blues lick, he does something with false fingerings. That's pretty simple, to be honest. It's A, press down 1, 2, 3 while playing A, and you get that overtone of a D kind of, which is a low B flat. It's not quite a B flat, but it's a little bit lower than that, so it kind of counts as a blue note. Even almost a quarter tone. It sounds really great when he does it. And you might also want to make sure you tongue that note. That makes a big difference. If you just play it legato, it sounds like... It doesn't really say much, but if you do like Paquito, he phrases a lot. You know, that's way more snappy and that makes all the difference in the world. But that's just a bonus extra lick. That's not the one I want to cover. It's this little pattern. So that's a really impactful lick there. It's quite outside, it's really hip, you don't know what is happening kind of, you get really thrown off, and that's because he plays mostly inside, really cool stuff inside in a bebop way, and then right before this you saw the context or little bonus lick was a blues lick on an E minor, that's the key we're in, and then he comes up with this pattern, which is actually octatonic based or half tone whole tone scale based, and then we get a pattern with a little skip through that octatonic scale. He uses the octatonic scale of, I'll use that name, octatonic. It has the diminished scale or half tone whole tone scale, actually 3 names for the same scale. What's in the name? But the one of the D octatonic scale. It's D, E flat, F, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C, and then we're back at D. It's a great sounding scale because it's symmetrical, it's identical, it's first a half tone, then a whole tone, like that one name is saying actually, but it makes for a symmetrical scale, so you can divide it exactly by 4, for example, in 4 minor thirds. What is the pattern? Actually, if you look at the first and second note, and then we make a skip, but forget that for a moment, forget the third and the fourth note, then we go on with the fifth and the sixth note in that bar, then you see just the next notes coming down the scale, then we omit the next two, and then you get. So that's pretty much coming down the scale. And then he breaks that up in actually two responding coming downs of the scale, because he does first, and then he jumps down to the G sharp, that's a third below the second note, and moves it again one complete tone down. So it's a second coming down, first from D, and then from G sharp, which is a tritone down. Then we move back up where we left off with our first two notes, B, A. And if we count from B, we go again down a tritone and go down on that part a whole tone. That's then what you would expect if you continue that pattern, but he doesn't quite do that. He plays more of a C sharp and B, but it's ghosted, so it's not very clear there. It's more of a, you won't really hear that he doesn't continue. It has the same shape still and the same kind of skip and melody to it. And then he ends that line into a very elaborate kind of enclosure towards the D. And then we come chromatically down and play a C major 7 with a 9 arpeggio. That's really bebop. Connecting it really nicely to, I think he intended there a G sharp. I wrote initially the A there with the G sharp as a grace note, because he seems to slip a little bit through to the next note, to the A, but it seems, if you look at the context, that he actually wanted to hit that target note G sharp, which is the third on this E7 chord, and then he finishes it beautifully. It's a superb lick. Like, he throws us out of the window with that octatonic pattern based lick, and then he comes back in with some blasting great bebop a la Paquito, really, because all those very elaborate enclosures you can see here, that's typical Paquito D'Rivera, I would say. He has such a unique style of playing. This is part of that. So I hope you dig this little lick I presented to you. If you're interested in diving deeper into why a lick works and what the real thoughts of the players were when they played it, then I recently brought out this book. It's called Saxophone Licks Unraveled, and it consists of 21 of some of my favorite licks that I came across through all those transcriptions, and I broke it down, really dissected it piece by piece in depth. And with this book I hope you can really dive more into why you like certain lines and really get those concepts down and then improvise on those concepts, which will make it way more your own than just copying and pasting it into your own solo. That being said, leave a comment, and if you have thoughts on this lick or there are other licks you really like, let me know which ones, and then I'll look into that. I might cover one of them. Hopefully see you next time.